It's Fired Up Friday, and this isn't your average pep talk. This is the Bad Influence podcast. Yeah, the one they told you not to listen to. I'm Bjordan Banderas, and today we're setting your fears on fire, torching your excuses, and waking up the beast inside you. If you want to take control of your life, it starts right now and right here. New drops every week. Let's burn the old version of you to the ground. Let's get one thing straight. Okay, pay attention, people. Because I see a lot of you doing this. And I just want to set this straight. Someone else's bad mood is not your fault. Their outbursts, not your responsibility. Their tone, not your burden. Their rudeness, not a mirror, it's a leak. And guess what? You're not a sponge. You're not here to absorb, okay? So stop soaking up every drop of their emotional bullshit like it's your job to clean it up. I know you've been there. Someone snaps at you, gives you attitude, throws shade, and immediately your brain fires off the usual question. What did I do wrong? Has that ever happened to you? Oh, it has happened so many times to me. Like, what did I do wrong to this? Like, how did I hurt this person? Why does this person hurt me or hate me, I mean? But that question or those questions are not about awareness. No. Let's get real, people. It's about trauma. It's about being programmed to take the blame before the damage even hits. You were trained to preemptively shrink, to absorb blame like it was your identity. And now when you're an adult or you're trying to figure life out, every time someone lashes out, you turn inward, not outward. You don't see their pain, you see your worth on trial. But let's break this myth right here. This is why I'm talking about this, so we can break this myth and you can move forward with your life. Their storm is not your fucking weather. And here's the harsh truth. People leak pain when they haven't learned to process it. They project, they lash out. They emotionally vomit all over whoever's closest. That doesn't make you a safe place. That makes you a target if you let it. So let me ask you something brutal. You ready? Why the hell are you treating a 5-second emotional tantrum like it's a life sentence on your worth? I've done this, so I know how it feels. That's why I want to talk about this. Because right now, friends, family members, co-workers, strangers, I have seen people do this all the time. And it's time to stop and for you to move forward with your life and for you to create your self-worth and self-esteem. But let's get back to the question. Let me ask you again, just in case you didn't hear me. Why the hell are you treating a 5-second emotional tantrum like it's a life sentence on your worth? Is it because you still carry the lie that it's your job to fix broken people? Or that you must have done something wrong? Because hey, that's what you were told growing up. You were raised on emotional guilt. So now chaos feels like home. But that version of you, it's expired. Let it rot. Leave it behind. And let's get psychological here. This is your subconscious trying to find safety by controlling the chaos. If I figure out what I did wrong, I can fix it. I can make them stop. Well, if you think that way, you're wrong. You're not fixing shit by self-blaming. You're feeding the pattern. Every time you internalize someone else's mood, your brain anchors the lie. I must have deserved that. Rewire that shit. Next time someone acts like an asshole, anchor this instead. That pain isn't mine. That energy isn't mine. That weight isn't mine. You've got to stop being the emotional dumpster for people who never learn to recycle their own pain. You're not the landfill for their emotional baggage. So stop carrying what was never yours. Let me give you a refrain that will snap your spine straight. If someone threw trash into your car, would you drive around with it all day? Hell no. You will literally throw it out, right? You toss that shit out of your car. So why are you letting them dump on your mind? Every time you hold on to someone's passive aggression, every time you let their silence infect your mood, every time you mirror their anger back to yourself, you're giving your power away. And for what? For what? That's the most important question today. For what? For peace? For comfort? For delusion of control? Nah, that's not what it is. You're giving away your mental real estate to people who don't even pay rent in your life. The truth is, some of you are all shape-shifting to avoid someone else's emotional chaos. You adjust your tone, you walk your vibe just to keep the peace. I've seen it and I've done it. But peace without boundaries isn't peace. It's self-abandonment. So ask yourself this. Are you reacting to the rudeness or to how deeply you believe you deserve it? That one hits, doesn't it? Because if your core belief is I'm not enough, then every jab, every side eye, every passive comment feels personal. Not because it is, but because it pokes your old programming. It does. You just react to whatever they're doing. You take it personal. You're like, oh my gosh, it's about me. I must have done something wrong. Even though I farted 3 hours ago, I must still stink. Right? But let's talk patterns. Because this isn't a one-time thing. You've built a life around filtering your worth through other people's emotions. But guess what? This is the reason why I'm here. That ends now. What happens when you finally stop taking it personally? Oh, you want to know what happens? You become dangerous. You become untouchable. And most importantly, you become free and you start feeling freedom. Because now their chaos bounces off you like bullets on armor. You stop burning mental energy trying to decode their damage. You stop shrinking to fit into someone else's small emotional world. You reclaim your peace, your voice, your peace. You also reclaim your space. That's what I was trying to say at the beginning. Your space. Let me share a quick story. This is personal, and a lot of you are going through this, especially after the pandemic and quiet quitting and quiet breaking and all these work-related trends, right? I once had a boss who treated me like shit every single Monday. Passive-aggressive emails, condescending tone, always trying to remind me who's boss. It happens. For months, I thought I was the problem. I was like, damn, I must have done something to this guy because obviously this is personal. Until one day I found out his wife had left him. So he was miserable, and I was just the closest punching bag. From that day forward, I stopped absorbing his pain. Did his attitude change? No, but mine did. I stopped apologizing for energy I didn't create. I stopped carrying scars that were not mine to wear. And that story is not unique. It's yours too. How many people have bled on you because they never learned to heal themselves? You're not here to be a fucking therapist for emotionally unavailable people. You're here to grow, to build, to elevate. And you can't do that dragging around someone else's emotional corpse. No. Literally, try to do that carrying this emotional corpse, which is not even yours. It's going to hold you back because that corpse is heavy as hell. So repeat after me. It's not mine. Say it every time someone throws shade, every time someone snaps, every time someone leaks their pain in your direction. Your healing begins where the responsibility ends. Let them carry their own shit. You've got a legacy to build. Here's your new mantra. I will no longer personalize someone else's projections. Because when you do, you rob yourself of the clarity you need to move forward. So let's zoom in on one more truth. You don't owe anyone access to your peace. That's earned. And if someone can bring regulated emotions to the table, they don't get a seat. Let's do some shadow work right now. Who's the first person that made you feel responsible for their emotions? This one is going to be good because it could be a parent, a teacher, an ex. Well, guess what? That's your origin point. That's the seed. Now rip that root out because it's been growing weeds in your self-worth ever since. You want to reclaim your power, right? I bet you do. Then start filtering every interaction through this one question. Is this about me or about them? If it's not about you, drop it. Don't dissect it, don't defend it, don't dwell. Detach and move. And here's the thing. Even when it's about you, you still don't owe anyone your peace, your energy, or your self-respect. Accountability? Yes. Absorption? Hell no. So let's go deeper. When you stop internalizing other people's pain, you become powerful. You walk lighter. You think clearer. You finally have space to hear your own damn voice. Because here's the truth. You've been drowning in the noise of other people's wounds. And it's time to swim out, to take a breath, to visualize yourself wiping their mess off your shoulders. Feel your spine straighten, your jaw unclench, your soul return. That's what detachment feels like. It's not cold, it's not cruel. It's clarity. It's freedom. You want emotional mastery? It starts here. With the decision to only carry what's yours. Everything else, return to sender. Don't negotiate with someone who confuses honesty with hostility. Let them wrestle their own shadows. Yes, let them wrestle their own shadows. Let them swim on their own bullshit because you're busy turning into light. Don't bend your spirit to comfort someone else's dysfunction. That's not compassion. That's not empathy. That's self-destruction. Let their energy reflect them, not you. Your worth is not up to public debate, and your space is not a community project. So here's what you're going to do starting today. Recognize the projection, reject the emotional transfer, reaffirm your identity, and release the energy. That's right, you have to release the energy, people, because if you keep holding on to that energy that is not even yours, you're still keeping the rod. So you have to release it. And rude behavior, deflected. Shitty attitude, filtered. Toxic vibe, blocked. That's what you have to do. You've got to protect your peace like it's your most sacred asset. Because guess what? It is. And one last truth bomb. You'll never reach your highest self while carrying someone else's lowest behavior. So drop it. Drop it all. Their anger, their attitude, their mess. None of it belongs in your story. Rewrite the script. You're not a victim of energy. You're the fucking author of it. So what now? You walk into rooms unbothered. You speak without apology. You glow without permission. And when someone acts like an asshole again, don't shrink, don't absorb, just think. Damn, they must be bleeding inside, and walk on. Picture this. You're 17, standing in your childhood kitchen with your fists clenched so tight your fingernails are leaving marks. The air smells like burnt toast and tension. Your parent just walked in from work, slammed the keys on the counter, and snapped at you like you started the war, but you didn't. Now you're drowning in the aftermath, same as every other day. You don't even flinch anymore. You just absorb the silence, the anger, the accusations that don't belong to you. You tell yourself, if I don't talk back, maybe it won't escalate. You get good at being invisible, at reading moods, at predicting explosions before they happen. And somewhere in the chaos, your brain starts whispering the most dangerous lie of all. This must be my fault. Now fast forward. You're an adult. You're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, maybe even 50s. A coworker snaps in a meeting. You shrink. A partner sighs too loud. You freeze. A stranger throws attitude and your heart skips like you've just been sentenced. You still think it's about you. You still carry their moods like unpaid bills stacked on your back. You're playing emotional janitor, sweeping up messes you didn't make, just so the room feels safe. I've done this. I did my entire life, growing up and even as an adult. But here's the truth that burns like holy fire. You never caused a storm. You just grew up in it. One day, you're walking into work, coffee in hand, mind somewhere between surviving and disappearing. And then, someone throws shade. Again. Passive aggressive, condescending, uncalled for. But this time, you pause. Something inside you shifts. Maybe it's exhaustion. Maybe it's awakening. But you finally ask the one question that flips the whole damn script. Is this really about me? And the silence that follows? That's your soul stepping into its power. You breathe. You stand taller. You don't explain. You don't defend. You detach. And that moment, that one moment, that's the start of liberation. You stop being a sponge. You stop being their emotional landfill. You become fireproof because it was never your job to carry what was leaking from someone else's unhealed wounds. From now on, you walk like your peace is protected by a security system. You stop apologizing for shit you didn't even break. You stop making a space for storms you didn't summon. When someone acts out, you don't fold. You don't absorb. You think, damn, they must be bleeding inside. And then you walk the fuck on. Because you're not a trauma sponge anymore. You're a boundary. You're a gatekeeper. You're the damn revolution. And anyone who tries to dump their chaos in your spirit, tell them, return to sender. And remember, the choice is yours. And that's it for today. If you're still making excuses after this one, that's on you, buddy. But if you're ready to move, then burn the damn comfort zone down and smash that subscribe button so you never miss the fire. Send this to someone who's one decision away from a full-blown comeback. This is the Bad Influence Podcast. Until next time, stay relentless, stay dangerous, make them remember your name, and have a great day.